Did you even make it to the end of the game?
I did, actually.
Did
How
you?
could you sleep to the end of that game?
It was good. There was a
If
lot of
the,
drama.
if the Steelers would have kept their lead going into the second half and played like that, I probably would have fell asleep in the fourth quarter, but
Right.
you couldn't sleep through that. Let's get into it since we're talking about it. We're not going to waste any time today. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're back, welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in every week, liking and commenting on the videos. But you should subscribe if this is your first time here, right? So go subscribe. Tell them, Harry. Subscribe.
Join us.
We're getting to 500, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Anyways, Steelers, Seahawks. Steelers ended up winning that game 23-20. It shouldn't have been that close, but it was. Every time the Steelers play, the first half is completely different from the second half of the game. They dominated the first half. The defense was shut down. It looked like the defense against Buffalo. They couldn't do anything. Geno Smith didn't know what to do. He had pressure on him all night. The offense, it didn't look great, but it looked good enough to get it done. They put together some impressive drives. They scored 2 touchdowns. They went into the half. Everything was good. They came out. Everything was bad. Defense, Seahawks were running right through them with their third string running back. Steelers couldn't get a stop. They got the game close. Offense was going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. But the Steelers pulled it off in the end in a very exciting ending with stops, reviews. That time on the clock was a little shaky at the end. Would it have made a difference? I don't know. But what you think, Harry? Did we learn anything?
Like you said, the Seahawks were pretty depleted. Their defense wasn't good. It's kind of disappointing to see that second half. Defense, played great the first half. The second half, we're giving up runs left and right. And then when Geno was forced to throw it, he was able to
blitzing us.
I don't know. It's hard to say. The defense has talent, and you saw it at the end when they were really needed. TJ Watt just took over the game.
Yeah. Give it credit to the defense. They were shut down in the first half. They looked terrible when the half started, but in the late fourth quarter and overtime, they stepped up.
Yeah. Almost won the game right there.
It did. The rest of the secondary, though, did not look good. Let's briefly talk about that because Edmonds, even Minka, I hate to put disrespect on Minka's name. I don't think he's been that good this year. And last night, not only his coverage, but they missed a lot of tackles as a collective group.
They did. I don't know what was going on last night, especially the second half. I don't know what was going on in the second half.
The second half, it was like even that one play, I think in the beginning of the second half, 3 guys completely missed a tackle and turned a short little, what should have been a stop, a 3 and out, into a 27-yard gain on the first down. And I think they went and scored a touchdown on that drive.
I think part of it was, they after the first half, they just got too comfortable. They were well in control of the game.
Could be it.
Defense was, stifling Seattle.
You got to give credit to Pete Carroll, too.
Yeah, they adjusted. They played good with what they had. They played really good.
Yeah.
And a win's a win. I think there's a lot of parity in the NFL this year. I don't think there's maybe the Bills now, you could be considered a team that's on another tier from a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, you're seeing teams that are near the bottom. For example, with the Ravens, the Lions almost beat them, the Raiders in overtime. So.
They're winning, though. But I think historically, when it comes to the Ravens, no team has given Lamar Jackson as much problems as the Steelers have over the past few years. He is completely different in the game against the Steelers.
The first game that I thought they looked really, really good was when they played Chargers this week. They looked good.
Yeah.
That's the first time I seen them. Wow, this team looked, because the rest of the games have been super close. All their games.
Comebacks.
1-score games. All their wins.
The Browns haven't looked good at all. The Browns have been built up so much. And in the first week, we were hearing how great they are. We have the same record right now.
They're pretty tough. But who'd they lose to? They lost to the Cardinals this week.
Yeah. It's Arizona. That's something.
Might be the best team in the league right now.
They might be, surprisingly.
Even still, I don't know. I don't think there's a clear cut.
But I think
teams on either side.
Here's my transition here. There's a clear-cut number one wide receiver in Pittsburgh, and it's Deontay Johnson. And I think he showed that on national TV last night.
He's playing well.
That man can ball. He catches
Yeah,
everything.
look-
He did miss a few passes last night. The defense was tight on those. One of them I thought should have been pass interference, and he's really good. He reminds me of Tony O'Brien in his ability to get yards after the catch.
Yeah.
So that's good to see.
He's got potential. I think Claypool's been a little banged up.
Claypool hasn't looked himself. He struggled. He struggled last night. That one catch, he had the pass interference. I think it was the fourth quarter. I don't know. He had the catch. It ended up being offensive pass interference, so it wouldn't count it anyways. But when he caught the ball, he like jumped out of bounds, so it would have been out of bounds. And he wasn't even near the sideline. I mean, that's just some awareness your wide receiver should have.
Was that the offensive pass interference? Is that
Yeah.
the one you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been called anyways, but I'm saying even if it didn't get called, he jumped out of bounds. So it would have been out of bounds on that catch.
Wasn't
And he
very
wasn't
aware.
near the sideline. I mean, you got to have, as a wide receiver, better awareness than that. Because if that wouldn't have been interference and he would have jumped out of bounds when he was that far in, boy, I would have flipped shit. And one more thing about the wide receivers, James Washington. What happened to this guy? Do the Steelers hate him? I don't know what's going on here.
He's had potential. He just hasn't.
Has it? I don't know. Has he not used his potential, or are they just not using him? Are they seeing something in practice that we aren't seeing? Because I haven't seen him not use his potential. I've seen him catch passes when he's targeted.
Yeah.
Is it his routes? I don't know. Because I figure with Juju out, he'd get a chance to step up. We saw him in the first quarter. He caught one pass, and then I didn't see him the rest of the game.
Bro, he's like fourth on the depth chart.
Yes. I mean,
Right now.
Ray's passed him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. As the season goes on, he's going to get more opportunities.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of that Seahawks game and that ending. I'm not going to comment on the refs as Mike Tomlin. Well, I'll let Mike Tomlin comment on that. As he said after the game, I'm going to get fined tonight. Or send my check to the league, I think he said. Someone heard him saying.